freshfigures.com, featuring all of your favorite action figure brands and much more. freshfigures.com. Get them while they're fresh. Figures of action here. Neca Apocalypse Weekend continues, and today we'll be taking a look at Neca's ARTHAS, the Lich King from Heroes of the Storm. I do know that this figure, or this character rather, is featured in Heroes of the Storm, but I think he is also a character from Warcraft and or World of Warcraft. I am not a gamer. Do not play those kinds of video games. I've got friends that do, but I prefer to collect action figures. So I could have the pronunciation of his name wrong, what game he's from, no clue. All I know is that Neca made one badass looking action figure out of this guy. And we're about to take a look at him now. What?
Stop talking about the game or stuff. This is about the action figure, you know that.
That's what I was trying to tell him. I don't know about the games, I know about the action figures. So, the Lich King is here posed on a stand. I haven't had a lot of trouble getting him to stand up on the shelf, but I do think that he looks better on the stand. The stands are infinite moon stands, and they are available from freshfigures.com. So, let's get him off the stand and on with our review. The Lich King really caught my attention there in the package. Amazing sculpt. I have not seen anything like this on an action figure before, not even from Neca. This is definitely a new high bar in action figures, and what's unbelievable to me about it is the price point. This guy retails for about $22, and you will be totally blown away by the sculpt and details on this guy. He came with one accessory, the sword Frostmourne, I think was the name of the sword, and it is removable from his hand. His hand does not actually open, but the pommel of the sword comes off from the blade. So that you can remove the sword and put it in his hand. It's the same on both sides. The horns of the ram just either go forward or backward. I think that this is the bottom part of the blade that would come down because of the serrations here, but I'm not positive. I watched some of the Blizzard cinematics featuring him, and I still don't have an answer for you as to how that should properly be in his hand, but it is one amazing looking sword. Let's take a look at some of the sculpt and paint details on this figure that convinced me to pick him up. He's got these incredible gauntlets on his arms with these skulls and spikes, and they even have a paint detail on them, the blue eyes in there, and the giant spikes on his shoulders. These are a softer rubber. These gauntlets, this piece, they are glued in place on the back, and them being soft, they do not hinder the figure's movement, because you still are able to move the arms up and down The paint on the figure is amazing. The sculpt, the details, the articulation. And he does have a soft goods cape, but it hangs like a real one would. Also soft goods material there in the front. And these details are just really amazing. I really like the crown mask. It is not removable, although you can see a fully painted face underneath. The helmet crown is of rubber or very soft plastic. It's a little pointy, but it's not sharp. The figure is articulated at the neck, slightly left, slightly right, slightly up, and slightly down. The hair being soft does not hinder the articulation, nor do these armored pieces that are glued in the back. He does have ball hinged shoulders, no upper bicep swivel, but he has ball hinged elbows as well that allow them to turn and also bend. He has, I believe, hinge and swivel wrists, but the armor doesn't give you a lot of swivel on that hand. We'll see if the other hand's any different. No, the sculpt doesn't allow for it. He does have a diaphragm joint that allows him to go side to side, slightly down and slightly back, and also has the inclusion of a waist swivel. Ball jointed hips, allow his legs to go forward and slightly back, out a little bit. He has the ball hinge knees that allow them to bend as well as turn left and right. Again, the rubber there on the armor that doesn't get in the way, doesn't impede movement. He's got the ball jointed feet as well. So you can get this guy into all kinds of poses. He is a little top heavy, not too much, because his feet are pretty big too. So he will keep a pose pretty good. This was my first Heroes of the Storm figure. I was really blown away by the packaging, the way the figure looked in the package. Not blown away by the packaging itself. It's a clamshell, but it did really show off the look of the figure. And I got a closer look at the sculpt there in the package, some of the paint and details, and I thought it was pretty amazing. There we go. ARTHAS, the Lich King. Let's get a look at how tall this figure is. He seems awfully wide with the armor. It makes him appear possibly not as tall as some of the other figures, but let's get a look. See if I can get him to stand up straight, mostly. Hey, can we get a look at how tall he is?
You guys said that.
Oh, well, thanks.
So, I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone. I just wanted to say that before the ending.
He's a little over 7 inches at the top of the crown. And he's has a fairly wide stance as well, from forearm to forearm, it's like 5 inches. So not quite as wide as he is tall, but he does have a wide stance with the armor on. Is a fantastic figure. It was my first Heroes of the Storm figure, and it is highly recommended. I like this figure even more than the Tyrell action figure that I got later. I think the sculpt and paint and details on this figure are superior to the other one, but I had to have them both. All right, well, that's it. Figures of action review of the ARTHAS, the Lich King figure from Neca's Heroes of the Storm action figures. And did you have anything to add?
Yeah, stop looking at the figure.
That's what you...
Subscribe and comment, and what's the way after that? No, is it subscribe? Like this video. And comment below, everybody. Comment below.
Thanks for watching.